evening and welcome to Active Citizens Parliament. My name is Sharon N.M. Chuku. Joining me live in the studio, I have with me Miss Ifoma Oji. Welcome to the conversation.
Thank you. Good evening, Sharon.
Good evening. And for today, we're going straight to the conversations. We're discussing the order from Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo to the Onitsha main market traders, asking them to go on a leave for a week for their refusal to oblige to his directive to resume business as usual on Mondays, ever since the Monday Sit at Home started. And we have joining us in the conversation on call various Onitsha traders to explain and to express exactly how they feel with this directive and how the tension and the atmosphere in Onitsha main market has been. And I have joining us via call Mr. Chuki. Good evening, sir. How are you doing? All right. Also joining us, we have Mrs. Amaka. Good evening, Ma. Can you hear me?
Good evening, Ma.
All right. All right. And also joining us, we have Mr. Bekama. Good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, I'm doing fine.
Good evening.
All right, good evening. Now, we know that earlier this week we saw news from the governor asking everybody to resume work as usual on Mondays, and when he came on Mondays, he said that there were some shops that were closed, and because they defied his order, he went ahead to sanction them, and that sanction meant that he was going to close the entire Onitsha main market for a week. He even went as far as saying that whoever came on board or has refused to follow his directive, that he would go as far as closing down the entire market for a month. Now, there's even a new breaking video that we're seeing that has been going viral when he says anybody who has refused to open their shops, that shop will be taken from them and given to another person. But let me get your take, Mrs. Amaka, first before we take a look at that video. Mrs. Amaka, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, so what would you say about this directive from Mr. Governor, and how has it affected you so far? Can you hear me? All right, if you can't hear me, then just let us know, or if you are having network issues, you'd let us know as you are cleared. But I'm going to pass this question to Mr. Bekama right now. With this new directive, how has it affected you?
Okay, the directive from Mr. Governor. First, I would like to say that I do not think that the directive was appropriate because these traders, the business is a private business, so I do not think that the governor should have gone as far as shutting down the market for a week. Okay?
All right.
And I understand the attempts to get the traders to work, or rather open up their shops on a Monday. But I feel that there would have been better measures to take,
Yes.
as opposed to shutting down the market for a week, because there are traders that make ends meet on a daily basis. Okay, so I feel like the directive is too harsh.
And Mr. Bekama, do you think that with this directive it would push people to continue to revolt? Because we know that Onitsha traders have come out to conduct protests. They've even gone as far as blocking the Onitsha head bridge. Do you think that this directive will force people to obey, or would it cause more protests?
Okay, I do not believe that it would encourage them to open up on Mondays, because going to the root of the matter, okay, when the sit-at-home order was issued back in 2021, many people defied the order, and some of them became quite rightly.
Victims. Yeah.
Okay, so sitting at home is more of a protective measure. Okay, so I feel like he should have addressed the main issue, which is the security issue. Okay, even though there are other, things that are attached to it, because many people have gotten used to staying at home on a Monday. Okay, so I feel like you should have addressed the issue of security when you create measures that ensures the protection of their lives and properties. Then naturally they will begin to open up on a Monday.
Yes.
Okay, because in some states, we found out that in some states in the southeast, many people have started going to work, opening up their shops on a Monday. So I feel like he should have attacked the main issue, which is security. Security.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So now you're saying that he didn't go about this the right way, and in your opinion, he should have addressed the issue of security first. Now, I believe joining us also on call we have Mr. Chuki. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
All right, good evening and welcome. We're still talking on Onitsha market and the new directive from the governor to shut down trading in Onitsha main market. And I want to ask you now, do you think that with this new order from the governor, do you think that there would be a sort of counter-attack from the perpetrators of crime and violence and the killings and insecurity that we have had for so long when people finally start resuming work or businesses as usual on Mondays?
Yeah, I think 100%. I mean, when issues like this come up, there's a loophole, especially when there's insecurity problem. Now, when things like this come up, people that not everybody who is voting for a good cause.
Wow.
Some people will vote because they will want to perpetrate evil in things. But I think he has some. It has an advantage. Let me use that.
Okay.
It has an advantage to the economy.
Yeah.
For a long while, I think from 2021 till now, the Southeast itself, let's leave the whole thing happening in Anambra, the Southeast itself, Mondays are always the starts for businesses.
Yeah.
It kickstart for businesses, and it has held back a lot of people. Imagine not starting, other states are starting every Monday, and you're not starting on Monday. Your new Monday is a Tuesday.
Yeah.
You get it has affected. Let us be very, very candid. It has affected a lot of businesses. But with that being said, there's insecurity problem in Anambra State. One time I was watching a video on YouTube and some guy Chidi came to Anambra to do YouTube content, and he got a couple persons saying, "Oh, the insecurity problems are now in check because of the Udogachi and other security parastatals that the governor brought in." But it has not stopped.
Yeah.
It has not stopped. But telling the business people to stop coming to the market on Monday, it is affecting the economy of not just Anambra State but the Southeast, because Onitsha is one of the biggest markets in West Africa.
Yeah.
And the amount of money generated there is so much that every Monday what goes out is crazy. So I feel like it is, for me personally, it's a welcome development, even though enforcing it now, the way he is going about enforcing it is not so.
So you have a problem with the way he's enforcing it?
Yeah, I have a problem with the way he's enforcing it.
Okay.
He's enforcing it and he's doing it like an autocrat.
Like an autocrat.
I feel like he should not do it that way. There are other ways. There are other means to actually enforce something like that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chuki. We're going to take a look now at a video. This is the latest development where we're seeing Governor Chukwuma Soludo addressing the public on this same matter. We'll have a look at that video and then we'll return and ask more questions. Let's have a look.
prosperity. It is about our security. Because if you deny 20% of the work days in a year, you are dampening our prosperity. Jobs that need to be created, incomes that need to be earned. That's what this is about. And it should be simple enough to be understood by everybody. 2024, 2025 will be very patient, pleading. 2022, 2023, we are busy fighting all of this. 2026, we are turning on gear 4. Anybody that closes any of it will help you close it for the next week. If you like holidays, we help you. But going forward, we'll now come after and take those from you and give to those who are ready to use them. At least we'll have some powers in that regard. If your market cannot open because it is your private district, I also have powers to revoke your ownership of that place in public interest. And we are going to be deploying this in coming weeks. We are still open, we're open to some conversation. But as for keeping those shops open, there is no negotiation about it. It's either that they are open or we use them for something else. Main market, for now, as it is currently structured, as our biggest market, Newi, all these markets, building materials, head bridge, this and so on and so forth. I have a meeting with their leadership tomorrow, once again, for us to have a, because by Monday, those of them, any of them that fails to be open again, going to be locked, maybe for 2 weeks, in the first instance, before we begin to take over some of them. But main market, if it remains closed again, we're going to now shut it down and prosperity. It is about our security. Because if you deny 20% of the work days in a year,
shutting down one of the biggest markets in West Africa. Now, this is what we're hearing coming from Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo as what is going to be a punishment for those who refuse to abide by this order. And he has also come out to say that for shops who would refuse to open on Mondays, that what they would do is to close it down, and after it's been closed down, the government might decide to use it for something else. And it seems as though from the tone of voice of Mr. Governor, he is prepared to do just anything to ensure that this mandate is followed through. What do you think, Ifoma?
Okay, I think I'll still stand by what I said earlier, which is there are better ways to dialogue with these people than, you know, abuse and sounding like an autocrat or going about it like an autocrat. Now, I had to make some research if the governor of a state have the right to lock down people's shop or revoke ownership of shops and give it to any other person or use it for something else. And according to the law here, it says that a governor has right to regulate how a market is being run when it comes to insecurity, when it comes to a lot of areas, economic empowerment and growth. But he doesn't have the right to stop people from to revoke people's ownership. Imagine owning a shop in Onitsha, and because you're not coming on Monday, the governor will now come and tell you, I'm taking over your shop because you did not come. I think is an executive abuse. All right, there are better ways. It's not just Anambra State that is adhering to this sit-at-home order. There is Anambra, there is Enugu State, there is Abia State. So he would have maybe tried to see if he can talk with these governors of other parts of the state. Let them see how they can come about this whole thing, agree on how they will go about it, you know, subtly than this whole by fire by force. All right,
and for you, Mr. Bekama, right now, do you when you hear that, when you hear something like that coming from your governor, what is the first thing? What is your reaction to that? First off,
okay, when such a directive comes from the governor, it's more like it places zero emphasis on the lives of the persons, okay? Because we are discussing here is a sensitive issue. It has to do with lives and properties.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you give such an order without putting into consideration the lives of the traders and the properties, okay, it's more like you don't care about whatever might happen to them if they come out on a Monday. This is a sensitive issue. We're talking about the sit at home that was put in place by the IPOB, okay? Okay, so and we know what comes with that. We know that there can be the destruction of lives and properties, okay? So when he does that without putting into account the lives that may be lost, I feel like it speaks volumes of what the government in place can be. We live in a country where zero emphasis is being placed on lives. Okay, what lives are lost is like it's just another day. Okay, so I feel like he is placing zero emphasis on the lives that can be lost in this scenario. Okay.
All right, so if I can get you correctly, you're saying now that the governor's actions shows that he does not value the lives of the people he is currently governing, and I think a lot of people they felt really, will I call it, out of touch, or they felt as though they're not important with this latest directive, and then I think it's something that it's going to be an ongoing conversation, because even for Mr. Governor, he said he would have conversations with the market leaders in different parts of Anambra, in Nnewi, in Onitsha as well. But anyways, just
Mr. Beckham, are you there?
Yes,
Mr. Chuki is there.
Okay, Mr. Chuki, are you there? Mr. Chuki, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I just wanted to ask, because there's a lot of backlash as regarding this issue now. There's a lot of noise in Onitsha market, and I just want to know if the Onitsha leaders are going to take this up in court, because invoking or revoking somebody's property is kind of, like I said earlier, an executive overreach or abuse of power. Do you think they are going to go to court? They'll take this case to court?
I think they will, but then Onitsha has a traditional ruler, and I think he has the concern of the people at heart.
Okay.
So, as a traditional ruler, he will, the Obi of Onitsha, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He will be able to, dialogue with the government to know how this thing can be curbed, because it will cost a lot of people their businesses, and like you said, the problem of the governor is not backing down on what he said. So I think they might legal action later. And to be very honest, you can't just win the government like that. So I think the best way that this can be caught is to sit down with the and talk with the people.
Exactly. Yes.
Know how to work with what they have, because as much as you are a leader, you're supposed to understand that people have their needs, and people need to get things done for themselves. You cannot just revoke people's bits for years. Some have had these shops for like 11, 20, 30, 25 years, and we are taking the shop away from them. It's crazy.
Okay.
So I think they might go to court, but I think the best way they would be able to resolve this is through
out of court
traditional.
Now, what about let me ask this question to you as well, Mr. Chiki. Let's talk about IPOB, because there are videos we've seen where people are chanting that Nnamdi Kanu is another savior. We also know that this sit at home on Mondays is in solidarity with Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. So let's talk a bit about how people who believe in IPOB, who are rooting for Biafra, rooting for Nnamdi Kanu right now, what do you think is going to be, or what is already their reaction? And apart from the protest, do you see this becoming violent on their side?
I think there is going to be agitation. People are agitating already.
Yes.
Offline. People are already saying a lot of things. Because I remember one time when the whole sit-at-home thing started.
Yeah.
I was in Oka, and there was a message sent to, at the time it was Isimoni that was the Charles Isimoni that was the Vice Chancellor of Nnamdi University. And a lot of things were said to him to actually close schools. So at the time, exams were in. I was having exams at the time, so they asked us to go back home, and it was crazy. So I think they will agitate. They will come out to agitate. A lot of persons are already saying things. I'm seeing things online already, and I know that people would say that he is going against the solidarity they have for Nnamdi Kanu. So yeah. I think there's agitation.
And then when we have agitation on one hand, and we have the possibility of the entire Onitsha main market being shut down, as to what we're hearing from Governor Soludo, if people refuse to resume work on Monday, let's talk about other sectors now, because we've also heard from the governor that he has given an instruction for schools to resume on Mondays. I'm going to pass this question to Mr. Bekaba now. For schools to resume on Mondays as usual, that transportation be be made open to people on Mondays as well, and also for civil servant workers. And we're sure that you all have loved ones who are in different fields, maybe civil servants or as students. Now, as a family unit now, or as an Onitsha family man right now, let's talk the smallest unit. Let's talk family. How do you think this directive as well is going to affect and touch the state of things in people's families?
Okay, I do believe, and I think that civil servants have always been going to work. Okay, I do not think that, because schools have been open even on Mondays.
So you don't think they've been observing this Monday sit at home at all?
Huh?
You don't think that prior to now that people have been observing the Monday, that they've not been observing the Monday sit at homes?
The fact is that the sit at home, okay, started a long time ago, okay, and many people have been easing into it, okay, in different areas, okay, of the state. Sit at home has been off in different areas, particularly in Onitsha. It has been on, okay. The market has been closed. Some schools have been closed because, like I said earlier, many people have become used to the sit at home. Okay, it has become their way of life. They work from Tuesday to Saturday. Okay, so they have included the Monday into their
weekend.
Yes.
Okay, so it will take, for me, it will take more than just a directive. Open the schools, open this, and open that, to get them to come out again. Okay, it will take more than that. In some other states, many people have eased into working on Monday. In some other states, okay, just like someone said online, I saw it online. He said it would have been better, okay, if the security operatives were on ground to ensure, to show the marketers, the citizens, and the people that, okay, you are safe to come out on a Monday, okay, and then give it time Okay? Give it time. Just like he said in his statement, he said that when an abomination is done for a year, it becomes a culture.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes. So, just as it has become a culture, it will take time to
Before
come out of it.
normalize.
So, the immediate issuance of the directive that if you don't come out, your shops will be taken away, your businesses will be taken away and given to other persons, is a bit harsh, and it is not a well-formed, development.
All right.
I feel like for the civil servants and the students and the marketers, it will take a bit more than a directive to get them to come out on a Monday.
All right. All right. Mr. Chooks, I'm coming to you now on the same issue. There is a new development here. The main market traders and residents of Onitsha have blocked Onitsha Head Bridge in Anambra State, and the consequences here is that nobody will be coming into Anambra State and nobody will be leaving Anambra State, and this is revolt, citizens revolt as a result of this sit at home or resume work on Monday. So I would just want to ask now, do you see more of this coming in, and what are the dangers this could pose to ordinary citizens who is not in support of the sit at home or is in support of the sit at home?
England is always going to break out to something else, especially when it's called on time, especially when there's no common ground for dialogue. England is always going to cause other things, and people are going to exploit the opportunities that the result comes with. A lot of persons are going to exploit the opportunities. You see, right now, I feel like insecurity is going to be on a hike because most of these things are happening. Some people will use the opportunity to start vandalizing things. I am sure that if this stays for a longer time, there's something coming more than usual. Because there are people coming from Aba, there are people coming from Imo, there are people coming from different places to shop at the main market, the main market, and you stopping these people from coming is also stopping these businesses from the businesses in the main market from moving. All of that stuff. Like Beckham said something, and I will second that. He said the whole sit at home thing is now becoming enough. Whether you are in support or you are not in support, it has normalized on everybody. It's been instilled on everybody that once you wake up on Monday morning, just sit in your house. The next day you move. The next day is your Monday. Whether you are coming from anywhere, and people are even scared of moving about on Mondays. So with this that is in place now, I feel like there's more to this coming if there's no common ground. Because you can't take out stuff from people and ask them not to protest. You can't take candy from a child and ask him not to protest.
Right. I get your take, Mr. Chuki, right? And then finally, as we wrap up, I'm going to ask Mr. Beckham out. I've heard different times when you were talking and you said you don't think that the governor went about this the right way, right? And then I just want to ask, what do you think would have been the appropriate way and effective way that this would have been handled? And also finally as well, with the way it is right now, do you still maybe somehow see us getting to that common ground that we've all been talking about, where the market leaders, the traders will come to a compromise sort of?
Okay, like I said, the approach that he took is off. Okay, and according to the video that that was shown, he said that he's going to have a meeting with leaders of the markets and all of that. Okay, which I think should have been the first step. Okay, before shutting down the markets. Okay, it should have been the first step. Okay, because it's a sensitive issue. It's a very, very sensitive issue. Okay, the leader of the IPOB was sentenced to jail. Okay, and there was no heat. Okay, which I thank the people of the IPOB for that and their supporters. Okay, because it should have been a whole different issue if they went on with that normal way. Okay, but now what you're doing, what the government is doing is that he arouse them, trigger them more. So I feel like what people have done initially, have a meeting with the leaders of the markets, the chairman.
But just to cut you short there, Mr. Bekama, I think from reports, and even when you watch that video, the governor said we'll have another meeting, we'll have a meeting again, which means that there must have been a first meeting. And what we're hearing is that there was a meeting prior to this, but the governors maybe did not get the reaction that he wanted from the market leaders and went on to shut down the markets. But you may continue in a minute.
Okay. That's nice. Okay. Also, in that regard, when you have a meeting with the leaders, okay, you don't just have a meeting and say this is what we're gonna do and this and this and this. You get, figure out, okay, what's the issue? Why are we not opening the markets on a Monday? How is it possible that we get them to open the markets on a Monday? These are the issues that should be discussed from a person. From you get the view of the marketers, okay, as opposed to what the government thinks. You get the view of the marketers, then it will help you to figure out a way to get a better result. Because the protest, like Mr. Chidi said, it will lead to vandalization and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So getting the view of the marketers would help. Okay, it would help to figure out the best way to solve this issue.
All right.
Because, like I've said, shutting down the market is not the best way. And also, just as you asked, do I think that a common ground will be found? Yes. Okay, a common ground will be found. Okay, is the question there is, will it benefit the marketers? Okay, because we know that the government, so far, the government does what they want. Okay, so it is a matter of, will it benefit the marketers, or are they just going to carry on with what they said? And also, we know the history of Nigerian government and protests and all of that. We know what happens eventually. Okay, so let's just pray that it doesn't escalate to that point. Okay, and I feel like eventually we will find a common ground. But we just pray that it doesn't escalate into the loss of lives and properties and all of that.
All right, and then Mr. Chuki, right? I'm also going to ask the same question. Do you think that they're going to find a common ground, and how fast do you think they're going to get there before things get really bad? Mr. Chuki, can you hear me? All right, I think he's having in a minute, please.
Okay, I'll just take that. I think I'll support everything that everybody has said so far concerning this issue. Everybody said it is a sensitive issue, and it's not something that you could use that by fire by force approach to enforce and expect results. You need to meet up, like he said he's going to meet again with the market leaders, so you should go ahead and meet with the market leaders, but at least from next week let other people resume, the market resume their normal daily activities, pending on when they get to an agreement. And two, if he still wants to go ahead with this sit-at-home, no sit-at-home order, he should equally contact other governors from other states. Let them see how they can enforce that in other states, because this Monday sit-at-home is still crippling the economy in other states. And two, he should be careful with the way he's going about this, because his second tenure, okay, he has already won the election. I wanted to say he would jeopardize his second tenure, but I mean, I think his legacy now that is at stake.
All right, thank you very much, Ifoma. And I think what we've just gathered is the fact that a lot of people, especially Onitsha traders, are not happy as to how Mr. Governor went about his enforcement of this new law to resume work and market as usual on Mondays. And going forward, we're going to see what will come out from the meeting he's going to hold with the market leaders and maybe traditional rulers in Onitsha, and then we would understand where exactly we are standing. Are we going to have more businesses? Are we going to have businesses open on Mondays, or is there going to be a total shutdown? But anyway, this is what we're calling it a wrap on the show. Thank you very much, Mr. Bekama and Mr. Chuki, for joining us via call on the conversation, and to Ifoma Oji as well. Thank you for joining me on the conversation. Thank you. If you're watching for the first time, this is Active Citizens Parliament, where we discuss Nigerian politics and we get the citizens to speak. If you're hearing for the first time and you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, this is going to be the best time for you to do that. And please endeavor to follow us across all social media at Active Citizens. Till we see you tomorrow, do have a good evening.
Main market prosperity. It is about our security. Because if you deny 20% of the work days in a year, you are dampening our prosperity. Jobs that need to be created, incomes that need to be earned. That's what this is about. And it should be simple enough to be understood by everybody. 2024, 2025 will be very patient, pleading. 2022, 2023, we are busy fighting all of this. 2026, we are turning on gear 4. Anybody that closes any of it will help you close it for the next week. If you like holidays, we help you. But going forward, we'll now come after and take those from you and give to those who are ready to use them. At least we'll have some powers in that regard. Market cannot open because it is your private district. I also have powers to revoke your ownership of that place in public interest. And we are going to be deploying this in coming weeks. We are still open. We're open to some conversation. But as for keeping those shops open, there is no negotiation about it. It's either that they are open or we use them for something else. Main market, for now, as it is currently structured, as our biggest market, Newi, all these markets, building materials, head bridge, this and so on and so forth. I have a meeting with their leadership tomorrow, once again, for us to have because by Monday, those of them, any of them that fails to be open again, going to be locked, maybe for 2 weeks, in the first instance, before we begin to take over some of them. But main market, if it remains closed again, we're going to now shut it down and prosperity. It is about our security. Because if you deny 20% of the work days in a year, you are dampening our prosperity. Jobs that need to be created, incomes that need to be earned. That's what this is about. And it should be simple enough to be understood by everybody. 2024, 2025 will be very patient, pleading. 2022, 2023, we are busy fighting all of this. 2026, we are turning on gear 4. Anybody that closes any of it, will help you close it for the next week. If you like holidays, we help you. But going forward, we'll now come after and take those from you and give to those who are ready to use them. At least we'll have some powers in that regard. If your market cannot open because it is your private district, I also have powers to revoke your ownership of that place in public interest. And we are going to be deploying this in coming weeks. We are still open, we're open to some conversation. But as for keeping those shops open, there is no negotiation about it. It's either that they are open or we use them for something else. Main market, for now, as it is currently structured, as our biggest market, Newi, all these markets, building materials, head bridge, this and so on and so forth. I have a meeting with their leadership tomorrow, once again, for us to have it, because by Monday, those of them, any of them that fails to be open again, going to be locked, maybe for 2 weeks, in the first instance, before we begin to take over some of them. But main market, if it remains closed again, we're going to now shut it down. And
now these people are serious, so these people are serious with that talk. Saludo di comune. Saludo di comune. Saludo di comune. Yes, saludo.
Okay, for the place, so even in it very tight. Then the mother and I says, didn't even motor and turning in a phone back. Okay, from the police and our Walatan, police can come. Oh, Chineke, oh, Nadia.
Now these people are serious, so these people are serious with that talk. Saludo di comune. Saludo di comune. Saludo di comune. Yes, saludo.
Okay, for the place, so even in it very tight. Then the mother and I says, didn't even motor and channing a Onitsha back. Okay, from the police and our police can come. Oh, Chineke, oh, Nadia.
Nah, these people are serious, so these people are serious with that talk or more. Saludo di comune. Saludo di comune. Saludo di comune. Yes, saludo.
Okay, for the place, so even in it very tight. Then the mother and I says, didn't even motor and channing a Onitsha back. Okay, from the police and our police can come.
Police after.
Oh.